Hello and welcome to the Girl That Went For It podcast. I'm your host, Johanna Scholz, also known as Johanna Lian on Instagram, and author of Believe in Life, How to Dance in the Rain. If you want to live your dream life and become the best version of yourself, then this podcast is for you. I hope that I can inspire and encourage you to never give up and to always believe in yourself. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, Johanna_Liana, for daily content. And now enjoy this episode. Hello and welcome back to the Girl That Went For It podcast. In this episode, I have Rachel with me again, and we talk about imposter syndrome, getting out of your comfort zone, setting boundaries. Rachel was a guest in one of my previous episodes. If you haven't listened to that one yet, we talked about best advice when starting your own business and also how to deal with feedback, taking it personal or not. And yeah, in this episode, as I said, we're going to talk about imposter syndrome, setting boundaries, getting out of your comfort zone. We talk about how it started versus how it's going. Basically, this episode is about owning your shit. So enjoy and let's start. Hello everyone, welcome back to my new episode. I'm here today with Rachel Burt and we're going to talk about imposter syndrome, boundaries and comfort zone, stepping out of your comfort zone. So let's start. Hi Rachel.
Hello again.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. We received a lot of questions about imposter syndrome.
A lot.
So for example, I started my own business, but I feel like everyone else is better than me. Any tips? Any tips, Rachel? In case I didn't say that, Rachel is a photographer. I said it in the episode before, but I think I haven't said it now. So just so you know.
You said it in one of the welcomes that you had to read.
So yeah.
Tips, yes, a few. In any industry, there are people who you look up to and admire. That they're role models. That's just life. And I tell you what, you'll be so bloody disappointed if you got to know them and realised how normal they are and that they deal with the same shit that you deal with and the same struggles that you deal with.
Yeah.
And I had this heaps when I did the post up on my story too. I think I had more than 10 people message being like how do you overcome imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
And to be really honest, I had to Google what it actually was.
What is this word? I said to Rachel as well, it's kind of the word that popped up 2023. Like so many
Imposter
people talk
syndrome.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it sounds to me like a disease or something.
Well, it is. So, Google imposter syndrome, also known as the imposter phenomenon, which was 1978. There's a big study done on women in the workforce. And back then was when women, started actually, climbing that corporate ladder, and lots of them felt like they weren't good enough to be there. They were frauding people because they were getting these positions and they were being successful in the workforce, but they were scam artists because they shouldn't be there. So to have that word imposter syndrome thrown out there in 2023 is, yeah, I had to Google it. I didn't know what it was. And to be honest, I've never had imposter syndrome. And I'm sure there are people out there who genuinely have it. But I think not having the confidence and being a little bit unsure of yourself, people mask as imposter syndrome.
Yeah, like lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
not being really confident or having a little bit of self-doubt is a really normal emotion, a really, really normal feeling in business, full stop. Like, everyone feels it.
Yeah.
Even the most successful people at times have felt, like they're not, just not 100% sure of themselves. Yeah. So I think saying, I've got imposter syndrome, we need to actually stop saying that.
It just makes it worse.
Yeah, and I look at it as a positive thing. I think of it as in the photography industry, there are certain aspects that I'm not really good at. Like, for example, right now I'm trying to nail slow, like those blurry photos, like slow motion, slow shutter photos. So you've seen them and they're like kind of slightly out of focus.
Yeah, the ones we did together as well, I think.
Yeah.
Photo shoot. Yeah.
I do them in pretty much every single photo shoot now because
learning.
I'm trying to learn how to do it. And there are people who I follow who just nail it every time.
Yeah.
And I definitely look up to them. And if someone was asked me to do it, I don't think I could. I'm not confident to be like, I can't deliver this photo.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that to them. Like, fake it till you make it. I'll be like, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
But I think people will put a plaster over that saying, oh, it's imposter syndrome. Like, I shouldn't be sharing what I have been doing when there's other people doing it so much better.
Yeah.
It's like, that's normal. And it's also a really good thing because it's like, you care about what you're doing. Yeah. And you want to work on it, you want to get better.
Yeah, you are aware of, you're not, maybe you like can see it as like, you know where you are now and you're aware of that you're not where you want to be in the future, and you can see it as like, okay, that's a chance for me to grow and work
learn.
on it and learn. Yeah, exactly. So something I want to say there as well is don't compare your chapter number 1 to someone's chapter number 10 or whatever, like especially on social media when you follow other photographers, for example, or I follow other social media coaches and managers and it seem like they have thousands of clients or whatever. Don't compare yourself to them because you don't know how often they've failed, how often they probably faked it till they make stuff like that.
And the issues that you're dealing with in the battles, they're still dealing with it, just on a bigger scale. And I think we talked about this a little bit in the last episode. Honestly, the first photos I took were so bad. There's actually a client, lovely client, who we're redoing her maternity photos at the end of the year. She just got pregnant. Yeah. And she was my first ever maternity shoot. Oh. And she sent me photos the other day from the shoot and laughed and was like, what the fuck? These are so bad.
Did she say or you?
She said it and I was like, yeah, they were. I don't think I even charged her for the shoot. If I did charge her, I'm so sorry. We'll take that off the next one. And so I said, we're gonna reshoot the same poses.
That's so cool. But better.
But just, I wouldn't have to change much and I'd do it a million times better. But yeah, some of the first photos I took were horrific. Yeah.
But that's like, no one starts at being perfect. No. Like if you want to learn with anything, I always do the example of riding a bike as a kid. Like you don't know how to do it until you try. You fall down and you try again. And stuff. Right.
And lots of the questions I got, because I replied to a few of the answers and had good conversations with people, and they're like, oh, I'm worried about what people will think and they'll just remember me as, failure. Can you seriously have a think and name the last person who tried something that didn't quite work out, or like a business that offered a service that didn't work out?
No.
Can you name one off the top of your head?
I don't think so.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because no one cares.
Yeah.
We're generally quite selfish humans and we don't care about what other people are doing, and you're not going to remember. People, that's actually the last podcast you said best advice. Another piece of advice I got given, which I still listen to, is people will not remember what you did or what you said. They will always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, definitely. So even if you did a shit job, just be friendly.
Just be really nice about it. And so yeah, it's a very big topic, imposter syndrome. I think that word gets thrown out so often. Yeah. And
nobody's perfect. Like, we're all learning, so don't let that hold you back from even trying.
I know. Have you looked back at some of your first posts?
Yes, I looked at my first clients, or like, I think my posts were okay. Maybe the way I worded things, or even the way I like sold my services in the start. Yeah. I'm like, or some emails I wrote, or how I handled things maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
when we launch this episode.
Yeah.
When you launch it, I don't do any of the work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share some of my photos.
Oh yes. I can have a look like what I could share, but not that I definitely have grown, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I could share this actually talking English in my first YouTube video, because that was quite out of my comfort zone, and I watch it now and I'm like cringe.
Yeah.
Because that was really out of my comfort zone, which leads us to the next topic. But yeah, that's maybe something where I had maybe first lack of confidence, but I was like, I'm just gonna do it because other people are doing it as well, and I can only learn when I do it.
So how did you get from? I'm asking you the question now. So what did you do? How did you go? You just kept doing it, or?
Yeah, like even like, let's do the example about
of speaking English in my stories. Like, I remember when I started doing it, I know I had a really strong accent. I still do have an accent, but probably not as strong as back then. And I was just like, I don't care what other people think, I just do it.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to get better, and so.
I think that's the other thing with imposter syndrome. Own your shit. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know I cannot spell to save myself. Grammar is terrible. I am incredibly dyslexic, and I have Irlen syndrome. So reading, writing, don't do it. And I remember when I first started, I would be so self-conscious because people would like correct my grammar, and people still do on my stories if it's spelt wrong.
I find that so weird. Like,
I'm like, yeah, cool. And now I'm just like, you know what? I'm dyslexic. I can't spell. Like, I can take a great photo. That's what you want. I'm not here to
write
spell. But I remember being really self-conscious about it when I started out.
But you own, like you said, own it, right? Yeah. Which also leads us kind of to the next question: setting boundaries, owning your shit, setting boundaries. That fits, right?
Well, that's
So we asked you to send us questions, and one of them was, how do you balance work and life balance?
Yeah. How do you balance work and home life?
Yeah. So how do we do that?
I'm going to be such a hypocrite. I'm going to give the best advice that I don't follow. It's hard.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard?
Yeah, I do. I've really tried to like make boundaries or set boundaries. Doesn't always work.
Well, especially because you, like in both of our industries, we are our business. And so, people, especially social media, they want to see what you're getting up to. And you want to be able to share with them what you're doing because, you want to share who you are. Yeah. But you do need to set boundaries. So, advice for that, if you've got a partner, would be talk to them to see what they're not happy with. So one of the big one with me and Beach was, I think he fucking hated it when I was ever at a cafe or a restaurant, and before food would come, be like, no, hold on, can I just take a photo of this? And I just drive him insane because. And then so now I'm like, cool, we're not allowed to do that. So now, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't think people give a shit about what I'm eating for lunch. Yeah. So, and now we laugh at the people who.
Oh, I do.
No, but you don't stand on the chair and get like a bird's eye view of your meal, do you?
Yeah.
But there's always that people at restaurants, right? Yeah. I'm real sorry if you do that, but.
No, but we love you. I mean, I do it sometimes, but like not like I think that's actually the same. I would do it really quick, like I wouldn't make it a big thing.
You also do it when it's a business meeting, which is a lot different. Yeah. If you and Jules were to go out for dinner.
Yeah. I probably will post it tonight though, because
this is an anniversary. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you don't.
But not every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that.
But yeah, so I think that helps balancing that work life and home life in our industry and setting boundaries is to find out what the other person gets annoyed with. Yeah. And then if you ever catch yourself doing something and you're like, this is annoying, I don't want to be doing this. Yeah. Don't. Like, I can't, and again, this would have been only the past few weeks I've set this boundary, is like, I can't work past 9 o'clock. The second I work past 9 o'clock, I find it really hard to switch off at night. Yeah. And do you watch anything when you go to sleep?
So we sometimes watch Netflix, but when I spend the whole day in front of my screen, like I don't even want to touch my phone in the evening. And I sometimes also say, let's don't watch anything on Netflix because it's all screen time. Yeah. So Jules would probably scroll on his phone because he didn't scroll the whole day because he was at work. And then I would read my book or write. I really like journaling, as you guys know. So I would just do that instead because I just don't want to. It even gives me sometimes, I don't want to touch my phone. Like I have this feeling like,
with you on that. So I watch Big Bang Theory. I think I've watched every season.
I haven't watched that
a million times.
I think I used to watch it in when it was on TV. Every now and then when I would turn. Yeah.
I've learned so many facts about science off that show.
Oh.
I think they're true. They might not. I would have been quoting people when it's not even true. But I have to have something else in my brain to think of. Yeah. And it has to be Big Bang because I know what happens. Yeah. I don't watch it, I just listen to it. Oh, yeah. But yeah, if I work late.
Yeah. But that's
I'm
what
just up fever.
like yesterday we watched a movie and I was so looking forward to that because I knew like we would have snacks and like just have a chill night and I don't check my phone and stuff, so that was really good.
Yeah. How often would you check your phone? Like,
so the good thing now, I feel like I have a work phone. It's just because I bought a new one. My old one, the battery
such a good
is
idea.
so bad. Like the battery's not good, so that's why I had a new one. But it's so good. Yeah, I really have my boundaries then.
Yeah.
So on the work phone, because I'm locked into all the other Instagram accounts, I would get always a notification.
Yeah.
Message, like, even I have mine turned off on my Instagram. Only people I follow, I see what they send me. But of the other accounts, I can't really turn it off because then it would be turned off on their phone as well, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah.
But now I have this work phone, which I only have most of the time when I'm here in my office. Don't take it with me, so I can't actually check. I mean, I could check my emails when I go out and stuff, but I can't check the Instagram, which really helps.
Yeah.
I actually think because Jules uses his phone quite a lot, so he probably doesn't get as annoyed when I use mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get more annoyed when he uses his the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because we've talked about that as well, and then like
Yeah.
about there's like pressure to like instantly reply.
Oh yes. Oh, I had this one girl. Maybe she's listening to this episode.
Sorry.
She sent me a message, and then I open it, but like I think it was the weekend or in general. Like I don't text back straight away. Like you know that. Like we talked about that. And then I did this anonymous question thing, and she was like, "What takes you so long to answer?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. Like. So I posted that and I was like, can the person that sent me this please reach out so I know like who I'm not answering. And so my first reaction was like, could be a bit like, oh, how annoying. Like, but my second one was she probably doesn't mean it that way, because you read like 3 question marks and you're like,
yeah.
So that was my second question. She probably doesn't mean it that way. And then the other question was as well, it's my choice how to handle it. So I just said, look, I'm not answering straight away when I read a message. I have other things to do. Like life happens outside of Instagram. This is my boundary, and I reply when I have time, and also when I remember, because like you said with your, like when people DM you, like it just gets lost in your DMs, and we don't have to reply straight away, and we don't have to be available 24/7.
Yeah, but I think that's why I like people emailing me, because it's a direct message, and I think people have this expectation.
It can take a bit.
Yeah, although they have the expectation that you're going to reply, rather than if someone emails you and you take 2 days to reply, no one would blink an eye.
Yeah.
But DMing is...
Because people can see when you're online, when you've...
I'm terrible at anyone who knows me will know I'm terrible. Look at this. I have 121 unread text messages. That's
I'm
text,
the same
it's
with,
not anything else.
My phone is up there. Yeah, I'm the same with WhatsApp. I think you don't use WhatsApp, right? It's like text messages.
I just got it.
Yeah.
It's annoying as shit. I got 6 of them.
I always have numbers up there too.
Yeah.
And my friends know as well, like, that it takes me, like, sometimes I answer 2 days later, but it doesn't mean I don't love them. It's just that I'm doing live, and I come back to them when I have the time and can actually focus on what they asked me and don't do it like in between. So yeah.
Touching on that too, another thing I find often, people will email messages, they're like, oh, I see on Instagram you're so busy, and I'm like, I don't post a lot on my stories, but like when I do, you're seeing like, you know, literally 15 seconds into my day, like I'm not that busy.
You can that's the thing with social media. It looks like that, but you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
Oh, another tip for the balance and the boundaries is, in a safety thing, I never post anything in real time. So if you see, well, you're going to see later on this evening, I was recording a podcast. I've taken the photo now. I will never, I like being present in the moment.
Oh yes.
And so taking a quick little video, which is like 3 seconds, and then I won't post it until I've left that person.
That's something I started doing as well, like posting or taking photos during the day and then post it all in the evening. Or sometimes when I show my outfit, I post it like straight away. But I did that, especially when I'm with people, I would post it. So even like if, let's say, I do a photo of what Jules and I have for dinner, let's say tonight, I won't post it while we're having dinner. I probably will post it afterwards, or like if we do something before, I post it. Yeah.
I've had someone, this is before I didn't do anything in real time. I was at a cafe and I did a photo. I was at Pixie Bowl and Havelock, and then I had someone turn up and be like, I saw you were here, so I come to say hello.
Oh no, that's not cool.
I know. And it wasn't it was just someone who followed me.
No.
Which, not that I'm cool. I think people would be so disappointed with how uncool I am.
Oh, you are cool.
I am, but not I think I'm cool.
Imagine you would have posted it and like an hour later and the person showed up and then, oh, she's not here.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, setting boundaries. And I definitely think not sharing too much of your personal life. Yeah. So I think some people might know, we got broken into earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty confident that the person, because the police identified who it was through fingerprints. When does that ever happen? And I'm pretty sure that she found out where I lived through Instagram.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's quite scary, and
that's definitely scary.
This day and age, I think, our whole lives are on social media. We have to be so careful.
Yeah. If I look back at what I shared in the past and what I share now, I definitely share less at the moment than I used to share about my life. Just sometimes I don't even know who wants to hear this, or I don't have to share everything. Yeah.
So yeah. It's a safety thing.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to comfort zone. We kind of covered it a bit in the past, in the last episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3 things. Stepping out of your comfort zone, being comfortable in front of the camera. That was kind of the topic.
Yeah.
3 things you recommend when having your first photo shoot. What do you have for?
Be comfortable. If you are uncomfortable in what you are wearing, you will see that in the camera. And so, perfect example is I wore a dress here for the photo shoot, to the podcast, because I knew you'd be recording it. And when I was driving, I didn't feel comfortable. I just thought that it was too low, and I was constantly pulling it up. So as soon as we got here, I changed, because I was like, if I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to be uncomfortable. It's as simple as that. You can't fake that. If you're uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable. Yeah. So don't go and buy an outfit and wear it for the first time at the photo shoot.
Yeah.
Wear something that you've worn before works.
Yeah.
Let the photographer know if you have any issues. Some people are really conscious about, especially newborn photos, about getting a double chin. There's no way in the world anyone can look straight down at something they're holding and not have a double chin. Yeah. But tell your photographer that. Just say, I'm really uncomfortable, or I'm really conscious about this. Yeah. Because they will do something that's going to make
you comfortable. Or
make you comfortable and not have double chins.
Yeah.
I always ask couples, what type of couple, if you're really cuddly, because if you're not a really cuddly couple,
then it does.
And I do a prompt run and give each other a hug, it's gonna be so weird. Awkward.
Yeah,
I know. So wear something comfortable. Talk to your photographer. They want to know. They want to.
I mean, you capture them and their realness. You want to.
Yeah. And then the third thing would be, I'm shit in front of the camera. I'm so terrible in front of the camera. Movement. Movement is key. Yeah. So if you don't know what to do, just move. The more movement, the better. Yeah. Most photographers are overshooters. If you say you're not, I know you're lying. I know you do overshoot. And within a movement, so if you're holding hands, if you swing your hands or cuddle in, there'll be one shot that just looks amazing. Yeah. So movement is key.
And I think what helped too, you remember how, or I just said in the other episode, I did a Pinterest mood board. Yeah. You can use Pinterest as well to see how to pose. Yeah. Just to maybe before you have a photo shoot, look at Pinterest photos and just see how other people pose. Yeah. And just get some inspiration. And I know you do heaps of, and you say put your hand there and stuff. Yeah. So you give directions anyway. Yeah, I'm super directive. Yeah. And you have mostly a photo as well. Can we do that, or do it like this, and it helps so much. Number 1 tip when doing a family photo shoot.
Family photo shoot, let your kids be your kids. Don't the thing that will ruin a family photo shoot. If your kids are being little assholes, which let's be real, sometimes We love them to pieces, but don't tell them off. Just let the photographer work with them.
Yeah.
They, like, quite often, especially with little kids, they want to be real clingy and cuddly, and they don't want to let go of mum because there's a stranger who's coming to them and they're shoving this big black camera in their face. Yeah. And I never try and work the kids to like me because I want to capture that cuddliness first.
The real,
So just let your kids be your kids, and unless the photographer's saying I don't think they should be doing that, just trust the photographer to do their job to capture them, because that's probably the biggest, like, in my questionnaire I've got a question like, do you have any concerns or questions, and one of the biggest things is like, what happens if my kids don't play ball? I've got children, I know what they're like, I know how to work 99% of them. That 1% that just absolutely hate me and won't take photos, you know what, that's just going to be your family photo. You're going to have everyone nice and this grumpy little kid, and you know what, that's a memory though.
That's the real deal. How to get more comfortable in front of the camera, we kind of covered that, I guess.
Be yourself, move, look at your kids. I think that's the other thing, is lots of people think that they should look at the camera and smile rather than capturing those like in between moments. I
feel like that's so old school, like family photos, everyone's sitting and looking to the camera. And you, like, it's more about, like, also like you said like telling a story, telling the family story kind of. And about styled shoots and how you got out your comfort zone
to do them,
organizing skills.
I literally just got off my ass and just did it. That's the only way to do it, is start small and just let it happen. I don't think there's a single styled shoot that has gone to plan. The last one we did, I wasn't even going to put you in that pink suit. That's the one that we did most of the shoots in. So be organized, have what you want to get out of the shoot. And like, I've got one coming up and the whole thing is about a veil, and so that's what we wanted to capture, the veil, and then let it grow from there, but don't have expectations. Go with the flow.
I feel like, because could it be like the first it must not be the first, but the first style shoot that I was in, like pedo.
That was the first one I've ever done,
And I feel like this one, compared to the one we did, like the Valentine's, I just see such a difference. Like, I mean, I was just there being the model, but like organizing wise, like you had like things on your phone, you're like, okay, we're gonna do this, this, and this. It was so different to the first one, so I could like see the not learning curve, but how you've done it like heaps.
But also that's that imposter syndrome, is you have to start somewhere, and definitely I've learned that the biggest thing I've learned from them is that, we talk a lot, so we've got to start planning, like
have enough time,
and every shoot I think I add more and more time.
This, like, for this podcast as well, it's 2:39. I thought, we do an hour. It's like 1.5 hours, or like, I don't know, but it's fine. And I think something doesn't really fit to this question, but when we did the last style shoot where you had hair makeup and the florist, I just loved seeing everyone was so passionate about what they did. Like you with the photography, like you're like getting excited getting the shot, then the flower, what was her name?
Shani from Magdalene Flora.
She was so into like the details, and it was so nice to watch everyone. Josie ended up doing like hair and makeup and just paying attention to every little detail. It was just so nice to see how everyone has their passion for what they do. I'm not saying this is the way you should do style shoots, because again, everyone just do their own thing, and whatever works for them works. But I will never say I need you to do this type of makeup or this type of hair. I will create a mood board. This is the vibe we're going for. And I choose people who I have complete trust in. To bring out whatever they want creativity wise. And we're so lucky because we have got, Shani, Deb and Josie, who they are my people with styled shoots. And you know what, I know of a few like people in the industry, but like, it's real clicky, you only ever work with them. And you know what? Because it works.
It is clicky, because I've gotten to a point now when we've done so many that I don't have to I literally give them a time and a date, a mood board to say this is the vibe, and I don't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
It just works.
Well, that does it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in today. If you like this episode and don't want to miss any new ones, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share it with your friends or on social media. It really means a lot to me. It will help me to create this podcast. You can find me on Instagram, Johanna_Liana. I'm always happy to connect, so flick me a message if you want. Enjoy the rest of your day, and always remember, it's a beautiful day to have a good day. It's a beautiful day to be alive.